The creatures and I from the great green lagoon party all night by the light of the moon, eat peas and rice with a stainless steel spoon, and don't go to bed until next day at noon. The jungle setting does surely enhance the peculiar ways of a green lagoon dance. For if you were there, you could see at a glance the fun that we have at this chance circumstance. We rock and we roll to a cool reggae beat, while Scorpion trips over Centipede's feet. But not one nor the other will take a back seat for some coconut water without any meat. No one is worried about who coulds and can'ts. The anteater deems to dine with the ants. The disc jockey stands on his head as he chants, and is always in danger of losing his pants. Mr. Camoodie comes out of his hole and watches two jaguars do jigs on a pole. He gets in the act with a backflip and roll and says, "Man, oh man, but those cats got some soul." The singing is sung by a wallop of whales as fish do the skank on the tips of their tails. Miss Kaiman sits down and paints all of her nails, while petulant prawns serve her pudding in pails. Two sloths are slow dancing with nary a care, till a fat tapir bets he can better the pair. The music then stops, and we all have to stare, for a toe-tapping tapir is really quite rare. At last we have come to the end of our tune. We bid you good night, hope to see you all soon, when next we should dance in the light of the moon, the creatures and I from the great green lagoon. Creatures and I from the Great Green Lagoon is a motley cast of characters. The capybara, the capuchin, the chameleon. I like alliteration, as you can tell. They're creatures that you would find in the Amazon in a jungle setting. I just happened to give them anthropomorphic characteristics, brought them together in a single setting under a full moon, extremely bright in that particular part of the world, and decided they would all come together and have a party. Well, Cambria, what inspired me to write these stories was I was very young. I was your age. I had 2 young children. I had just finished university. I accepted a position as a research associate at the Walter Roth Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology, situated in Georgetown, Guyana. The fellow who was the curator of the museum sent me to the most improbable places, the most inhospitable swamps on the face of the earth to piece together pre-Columbian history of Guyana. At the time, I didn't realize, I never thought I'm 25, you're immortal. Most people are immortal when they're 25. I never thought I could die. I never thought I would break my leg or my appendix would rupture, things that I think about now. And fortunately, none of those things ever did happen. And I spent 3 years in the Amazon with your brother and sister and came across all these creatures at one point or the other, was never harmed by any of them. So they were my friends. And I thought I would like to bring some of that to Western civilization. Each one took, some of those poems are very juvenile. Some of them would take maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I wrote it basically, again, for your brother and sister. I believe I was pregnant with you at the time, so that book is 25 years old. It was something that I wanted to have them keep remembering. They remembered little bits and pieces of certain episodes that we spent in certain villages, whether it was in Aishalton or up in the Rupununi or up in the Northwest. It was something, obviously, if you have a creative spirit, it's something that has to come out. So this book was just meant to be written for that. It was just something that was inside of me, and I wanted to give life to some of the things that I had seen. Actually, you haven't done the poem that's my favorite. My favorite poem is the Tamachimari Tiger and the Dadanawa Dog. Simply because it's more of a parable. It tells a story about the decimation of the rainforest. The Tamachimari Tiger and the Dadanawa Dog saw Makawaka Turtle just sunning on the log. Now the turtle was exuding her proprietary airs till the tiger told the turtle that greenheart log was theirs. That actually is my favorite. It's miles too long for anything that you were doing. So out of the ones that you did do, my favorite actually is The Creatures and I from the Great Green Lagoon. 25 years later, I still remember word for word.
Where did those names come from? Like I can't even pronounce it, but the Tamachimari.
Oh, the Tamachimari Tiger and the Dadanawa Dog. Tamachimari and Dadanawa are all named places in the Rupununi of villages. Makawaka is just a play on words. It's not actually a Makawaka turtle. It just sounded better than Matawata. So I also like the rhythm of words. I like how words go together with certain syllables, whether they're pronounceable or not. And that's a liberty that you can take with the English language, is you can make up words and make it sound perfectly normal. Oh my gosh. Yeah. When you asked me if I had the Creatures and I for the Great Green Lagoon, I'm like, why would you even want that? And so I searched around some boxes out in the garage and came across it. And I personally hadn't seen it in maybe 15 years. I hadn't consciously thought about it. It was just something, okay, that's it, it's done. I think I read it to you when you were younger as well. And then to see it come to life, sweetheart, that brings tears to my eyes that you would do that. And it's probably the greatest gift I've ever had in my life. Thank you.